We are live.
So we are.
Yes. Yes.
Nice to see you now.
Good afternoon, Facebook land. And we're here today, and today's title is 14 benefits of using or having a personal trainer. And we're lucky that we have our own personal trainer here. So that's going to be good. So any thoughts at the beginning, Warren?
I'm just curious to see what your 14 reasons are.
I've got loads of them. It's just I made up a number.
Okay.
It's loads. You could actually go on all day. I mean, there's so much that you could fit in there.
Well, with many things, yeah, definitely.
But again, you can't. When you do a headline, it's got to be something. And so it will probably work out about 20. But
the infinite reasons of having a personal trainer. That's not so catchy as opposed to.
No, that's right. Yeah. So okay. So the question I was going to ask everyone and you is this: do people need a personal trainer? What would you say to that?
Well, I'm a bit biased, but yeah, even someone like myself could do with a trainer from time to time. So yes, definitely. The vast majority of people do need a personal trainer. Simple as that.
I mean, you've heard me mention it before, but I trained for the marathon, but because I went from scratch, I decided to do it over a 2-year period. Okay, so I found, I don't know if you remember Bruce Tuller. He used to be an American marathon runner in the 60s, I think. And he brought a book out about all different long distance running, okay, and all different plans and things like that. So I picked one that I like the look of for marathon running, and it was a marathon plan. So what I did, I cut it in half, as in distances. So if it said run 10 for the first year, I'd run 5. You can see where I'm coming from, and now. I stuck to probably between 95 and 97% of the plan. It worked well, but here's the downside. The downside is that if I'd had a coach or a personal trainer, he or she would have warned me about certain things, which I didn't have. Okay, so I did, over the 2 years, I did probably about 800 or 900 miles training.
Wow.
Okay, all on concrete. Not good. See, if I'd had a personal trainer, he would have said to me, don't do 2 runs, do one run on grass, 1 run on concrete. 1 run on sand, then come back to concrete. So you're not doing it all the time. So my leg gave way in the race, would you believe? Now, if I'd had a personal trainer, it may well have been different.
Your personal trainer could have carried you over the line.
Absolutely. When I went flat on my back, he could have just picked me up and carried me over. No, I did finally do it, but with an injury. So let's get into the 14. So my first thing is educational. Okay. But now you'd know all about this because you train the trainers. Yeah. So how important is education? Coming from you as the trainer.
Yeah, honestly, Paul, and to anybody else that's watching this video, education is it's such a key and integral part of any person's regime, no matter what that regime is, whether it's eating, exercising, sleeping. It's knowing why you're doing what you're doing, not just doing it because it looks cool or it feels cool. But it's the education behind it, and that's trainer's purpose is first and foremost education.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
yes, most definitely. And it goes back to the reason why I got into the industry in the first place back in 1999, and that was because I was being injured. I was picking up injuries all the time, as an athlete, and I wanted to figure out what was going on inside my body. So I studied physiology, kinesiology, sports sciences to a degree, exercise science, that is. And then I figured out, hey, hang on a second, there's something in this. and I took it further. But that was my purpose. My why in the beginning was to figure out what was going on inside my body that I was picking up injuries on a regular basis.
I mean, they say that obviously the best way is to do things to learn, but in this particular instance, it does help. I think let's say that if you do things yourself, you get 85 to 90%, experience, but you do need an extra bit to top it all off and to make sure you don't go wrong. So
on top of that, the vast majority of people don't have the time to study this kind of stuff. They don't have the time to go and look.
That's right. I mean, I would agree with that. Yeah, I did when I was learning to run the marathon. I mean, I didn't study. I just used the book, and it was easy. I mean, it was easy to use. I didn't talk to anybody about it. I just went ahead and did it. Now I'm glad I did it. Don't get me wrong. But if I was talking to someone now about doing it, I would say, get yourself someone who knows exactly what they're doing. Now, we know the word personal trainer may not encompass everything. So go and find someone who's got experience in what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the other thing.
Or even potentially, maybe you have an injury and you need to recover and recuperate and rehabilitate. And if you have a trainer that has had that same injury as you, then you're onto something there, because that person can guide you through experience and real wisdom. Yeah,
I think the only thing experience has given me is knowing when to back off.
Okay.
And how long to take off.
Okay.
Now, obviously, it always helps to have a professional or someone who's an expert in a certain area to just top off what you think you know, because you may be wrong. So, okay, I'm just going to say hello to Rosie. Rosie just said, I do. She said, I do. And I don't know what she refers to. I do. I mean, are we talking about we need a personal trainer? I think that's what she probably means. So, okay, number 2, and this is very important, especially for an athlete, and I'm sure it is for everyone else, is that the personal trainer can help perfect the form. What I mean by that is, when we're talking about techniques and posture, okay, because, and the classic example for me being a runner is when I got fitted for running shoes, because I went to see a professional who watched me run from all different angles on the running machine. They could see where my feet were, pronating or over-pronating, all that type of thing. And obviously they would tell me what I needed. Now, unfortunately, some shops will sell you what they've got enough of or too many of.
Yeah.
But hopefully, if you go to a running shop, then they won't do that. So, okay, so very important. Posture's very important.
Oh yeah, and I want to just stress on this, because a lot of people that are going to be watching this video are runners, weekend runners, whatever. Don't sell yourself short in terms of investing in proper shoes for yourself. If running is what you want to do, and you haven't run in many years, 20 years, 10 years, whatever, go and invest in proper shoes.
Yeah,
because your body will thank you in the long run.
And this is where price comes in as well, because and I understand it up to a certain point. If you're just going to go and run a couple of miles, it doesn't really matter. Okay, not really. But if you are going to run the marathon or half marathons, things like that, then pay the money. It may be that you have to pay £130 for a pair of trainers, but it's not the price, it's the value of having the trainers, because you won't get injured.
It's an investment.
It's an investment, and it's a bit like investing in eating the right things.
Yeah.
Over the years, that's when it pays off. Okay.
And I've always been of the thinking that your shoes, no matter what shoes you're wearing, should be quality shoes. Shoes should be quality.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter whether it's a dress shoe, a trainer, whatever. There should be quality product, because
they look good as well.
Well, even some quality shoes don't look good. I mean,
sorry, am I being shallow?
like snakeskin shoes or something like that. I mean, that's too 80s. But honestly, yeah, you want to make sure that you invest properly because it's just worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 3 was you as an individual, because we're all unique, have individual requirements as the client. Okay, so the personal trainer can look at you, watch what you do, talk to you, find out what your goals are and things like that, and then your unique requirements can be filled with the expertise from the personal trainer.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes. So observation is the key thing with the trainer. Unfortunately, too many trainers do not observe close enough. But yes, if you get a trainer that, and you as a client should, if you know this, you yourself should be observing whether your trainer is paying attention to what you're doing and observing. Because when a trainer does, then the corrections can be made and all these kind of things. So it's that second party validation as well. You're having somebody telling you that what you're doing is correct, rather than thinking, am I doing this correctly?
Yeah.
So it's that add-on feedback as well, the feedback that you get from having that person.
The feedback is not one of the things I've got written down. So that's why you have the expert. Okay. That's right. So number 4 is help set some realistic goals. We're not going to go into that too much, but so if I want to run a marathon in 2 weeks, it's not going to happen. The personal trainer can, take time and say, look, you need at least 6 months or whatever it is, the time frame. It's all about time frames and the right type of exercise or right type of training. So that's another one they can help you with. And the other one that goes alongside it is if you have, as a client, you have a specific goal or goals, okay, say training for the marathon, then the thinking of, again, it's observation, but it's also about communication between you and the personal trainer, because they need to know what you want to do so that they can tailor the training schedule or the plan around what you want to do. And again, it makes it obvious if you think about it, but a lot of people don't think about the specific goals that they want. Okay.
And it's not just that; it goes beyond that as well. Because if your goals are important to you to achieve them, a trainer can be there. If it's a good trainer, they'll be there to help shape and form your lifestyle habits as well, in many ways. So they'll be there to check up on you, making sure that you're doing what you should be doing when you're not with them. That you're giving them feedback as to, like, for example, what foods did you have today? All of these kind of factors. So this is where the trainer is also, helping you with your goals. It's not just writing down a fancy goal and think, ooh, this is nice, I'm going to go get this done in 6 months, and then you hire a trainer to just be there for you for 45 minutes or an hour, whatever that looks like. No, a good trainer will be there with you behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helping you, making sure you reach that goal, because it's that. For example, the way I look at it, it's my reputation as a trainer. If my client does not reach the goal, it's my reputation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Number 6, they hold you accountable. Again, ensuring that your commitment is not wasted, and obviously they keep you on track. But accountability is brilliant. I mean, in everything it is. But especially if you're going to, let's say, you want to become a really, really good runner or a really good golfer or whatever it is, you've got to be accountable to yourself first, but then obviously the personal trainer or the personal coach or whoever it is going to keep you on track.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Oh, an accountability partner, whether you're paying for that or not, is paramount. It really is, because for many people, they just don't have the discipline, the built-in inherent discipline to be able to do it consistently. So the accountability partner that's there, whether it's a trainer that you're paying for, as I said, or somebody else, is paramount. It's so important just to have that person there, that voice of encouragement as well.
Absolutely. Hi to Sue Booth. Hello,
Sue.
Now there's a lady who's consistent.
Very. From what I can see, yes, very consistent.
Absolutely. Great. So number 7. No wasted time. That's important as well, because in this day and age, time is so valuable, and you don't want to be wasting your time. And and I think the personal trainer can trim the edges and make it, trim the edges. Just thought of that. I just, it's.
That's a nice little term you could use there.
Yeah, trim the edges, maximize your results.
I'll give you a story around that, if I may.
Yeah, fire away.
I had a very good client of mine, and a very good client in Dubai, a business owner, but also a big partier. So he's a party man. I mean, he loves the ladies and things like that. So we would go training sometimes in the morning, and he would be late. I'd get there for training, and he'd be late, invariably. And then besides that, he would be tired because he was up till early hours of the morning, and he'd get there with his phone, and I would just say to him straight, put the phone away and focus on what you are doing with me for the next hour. And that for him was just the ability to be able to escape, with having me there, because he knew as well that if he went to the gym by himself, he would be on this phone and he'd be watching the news and all kinds of blah, blah. But with having me there, it just helped get him disciplined just for that 1 hour of the day. The rest of the day, whatever happened. But this is, and I trained a prince in Dubai as well. Same thing. There was no discipline in his life, and by having me there, I held him accountable, and I created discipline. That time that he was with me, the rest of the world was gone. It was just not even part of his reality at that time. So
yeah. So a verbal slap.
Slap on the
I was going to say something else, but I won't. And it's not just fitness with personal trainers, is it? I mean, because they can help shape your lifestyle even.
There's a lot of psychology behind it, Paul. A lot. And this is what I tell people, and I used to say to trainers, like young trainers that were just starting their careers, I'll say to them, don't think that this is an easy ride. Sometimes I employed a few trainers, and their first jobs was as a personal trainer, and I asked them, like, why did you get into personal training? Because I want to help people. Like, how? Okay, you want to help people, how? I want to help them to get fit and stuff like that. I said, do you think it's just going to be about fitness? Mostly, no. I was like, no, my friend.
No.
Being a personal trainer, you're a psychologist, you're a coach, you're a shoulder to cry on, you're a mentor, you're an active ear. You're everything, and you're doing all the physical stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's
a relationship counselor.
Yeah, relationship, everything. Yeah. I mentioned to you before, I think it was in one of the previous podcasts, that some of my clients said to me that they saw me more often than they did their own boyfriends, girlfriends, or spouses.
Yeah.
And that's all. When I say saw more, but they spoke more. They spoke more at length with me than they did with their own partners.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's my experience as well. So, improve your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That's another big thing as well, because again, it's the encouragement thing, the commitment, what they're saying to you, keeping you on track, keeping it positive. None of this "I can't do it" type of thing. Because you're not going to allow that as a personal trainer. Because you're going to know.
Sometimes.
But you're going to know basically what someone's capable of.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll know when somebody's throwing BS out there. I'll know that. You pick it up quickly.
Yeah. Now we've already covered the next one, which is unofficial therapist. I think we've covered that one. So, but one of the big things also, help your client form good habits. That's the other thing. And as a coach, regardless of whether it's sport or whatever, you want that person to form good habits, because it makes life easier because of the persistence and the consistent side of it. So would you agree?
Yeah, most definitely. But in some aspects as well, or some respects, I should say, some clients just don't want that. A client just wants you to train them, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't want you to get involved in all the other stuff that's going on in their life, their food, sleep, their lifestyle habits. They're not interested. They just want you to come and train them for an hour.
Yeah.
And go,
until they realize.
And well, yeah, sometimes they do eventually the penny drops for them. But I've also found from experience is that many of those type of clients that I've had were the ones that were willing to invest the most in themselves with me or through me. They were willing to pay me a higher ticket price just to be there to train them. That's it. Whereas on the flip side of that coin, the other folks that expect everything else from you, they're the ones that are not willing to pay necessarily, not always, but very, very often that's the case. They're the ones that are not willing to pay that high-end price, to have a quality trainer there with them. So it's sometimes, some clients, they want you actively involved in their back behind the scenes life, whatever, but many not interested.
Absolutely. So the next thing is you would, I don't know if you do it for all clients, but a personalized training plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do it like you did with me, and that's send me over some videos of the exercises you want me to do. With you doing it, instructing as you go along. I thought that was really good how you did that. So
thank you.
Yeah. So
I'm actually doing this at the moment for another company. I'm creating workout programs very similar to what we did with so the videos with the instructions and everything and the guidelines and the progressive, regressive parts of movements and things like that. And I'm doing it for a platform in Dubai at the moment. So it seems to be very well received that way. But I mean, obviously, but look, this is with groups of people on a program, so it's a bit different to what you and I were doing. But we personalized programs. But also in saying that, Paul, I just want to touch on, because also some trainers, they stick to a guideline. They stick to a focused paradigm of thinking in terms of each client needs a different program, and they have written out programs in fine details, and they stick to that throughout their clients' time with them. So if they have an initial period of say 3 months, the trainer might design a program for 3 months, and they stick to that, come hell or high water.
Yeah.
Other trainers, they think it's a one-size-fits-all scenario. So they have one form of training or one type of workout, and they do that with all their clients.
Yeah.
For me personally, I can only speak for myself in this regard. But for me, I would get to the stage with my own clients, and very quickly, mind you, where I never designed my programs at all for them. But I did tailor make their workouts for them.
Yeah.
But I never designed, because it was very amoebic. So, for example, I might come into a workout with you tomorrow. I might arrive at your house, and I can see you feeling a bit low on energy. Your mood is not quite right. I might have had a plan in my head. I change it.
Yeah.
Or I might have a different one plan in my head, and I come there and I see that you're hyper today and you're bursting with energy and you're positive and you want to go. Then I change it around a little bit. But as long as it's fitted for what your goal is, yes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
so I was able to
in a way, it's the same as dealing with anyone, really, because it all depends on, how they feel that day. It's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and you don't know as a trainer until you see that person, and then you need to be able to think on your feet and think quickly on your feet. But you can only really do that through experience. When you become experienced as a trainer, it's easier to be able to think on your feet to that level.
Yeah.
Where you're still changing the program, but it's still for that person. It's not just, oh, here's a workout. Okay, I'm going to go do that. No. Yeah. So
I never feel like that with a workout. But okay. Number 13. A personal trainer will hopefully be able to fit in with your schedule. Sorry.
No, I was saying to say goodbye to Sue. Sue was saying goodbye.
Oh, bye, Sue.
Yeah.
So, with all, we know it's different with everyone, but basically they're very versatile personal trainers, and they will fit in with your schedule, as soon as it fits in with theirs as well, obviously. But and they're very, very flexible in also in the location. So not only in the schedule, but in the location. So you can do it outside, you can do it at a gym, you can do it in someone's house.
Yep.
Again, that's the choice of the obviously the client, between the client and the personal trainer. And the last thing I've got on my actual list was they will challenge you, which again is very, very important.
And that ties in some respects with mindset and the mental side of things.
Yeah,
it's that challenging. And I mean, you would have got this in the police, I'm sure, and I definitely experienced in the military, with that level of motivation, that challenge all the time. You were constantly challenged. So when you were doing your initial academy training, I'm sure you would have been challenged regularly. And this is where I first learned it was in the military, just constantly being challenged. And some of my clients used to call me like the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler, and I'm not joking.
I was going to say Genghis Khan, but there you go.
Genghis Khan, yeah. I would have liked Genghis Khan a little bit better, but to be honest with you, but yeah, I had a few clients that they referred to me as Adolf Hitler, their reincarnation, because I would challenge them so much. I was unrelenting in that regard. Sometimes when people needed it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need a soft touch. Sometimes people need soft touching.
Well, again, everyone's different, because when I was sort of in charge of a team at work, some people need hard love, some people need an arm around the shoulder. You obviously had to read what that person was like and what they were looking for. Unfortunately, there's not many people seen in my life that seem to know how to do that. They just treat everyone the same way, and it's all about getting the best results out of people, isn't it? So if someone needs an arm around the shoulder, give it to them.
I mean, this particular client that I was referring to early on, the business owner, and there were one or two other clients as well. Sometimes we would arrive at the training and we just ended up having a cup of coffee. I actually arrived at a client's house one night in Dubai. I arrived at his house one night to go meet this guy. I've never met him before. My wife knew him. And I get there, and in typical Arabic style, he's Syrian. He's sitting in his garden on his little stoop in his little patio, and with a big outdoor air conditioning unit and a TV, watching football, smoking argila. And I was like, okay, well, what's happening here? No, you must come sit now. We must smoke first. We must smoke before we train. I was like, smoke before you train. Sorry. And I eventually realized that was not, that evening we were not going to train. So I was okay with that. And I don't smoke. I did at one point, but I don't smoke argila anymore. But so just to accommodate him, I had some argila with them, drank tea, and the man got to know me and he trusted me, and that was also my ability to adapt in that situation as well helped, because it created a friendship and a relationship deeper than a trainer. And this is one of the other things is that I want to touch on. As a trainer, you do create long-term relationships with your clients in many cases. I've got clients that, for example, like from Dubai, that when I told them I was leaving Dubai in 2016, they were like, "No, you're not."
We're going to keep you here.
Yeah, exactly. And one client even said, "How much money do I need to pay you to keep you here?" I'm like, "Sorry, I'm going. My time is up. I need to leave Dubai now." And that's it. We're still in contact. We still keep in contact. I still keep in contact with a few of my clients from Dubai. And it's just that's the beautiful thing about being a personal trainer, is that you learn so many different tools about yourself and life in general. And for any client or any person that has a personal trainer, you create a different relationship. I mean, I did a triathlon with one of my clients who's paraplegic. He was one of my clients. He's a friend of mine now. I've known trainers that have been given cars, holidays by their clients, all kinds of stuff. You know, the biggest thing I ever got was just an envelope full of cash put in my hand one day, no questions asked.
Yeah, unfortunately, in my former job, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It was called corruption.
No, I was independent. Hey, I was independent.
I know. I'm joking. Yeah.
No, but
So-
I was. If I was working in the gym and somebody came and did that to me, I would definitely thought twice about that, because that's under the table kind of stuff. No.
Yeah.
I was self-employed, and this was the prince. I just walked in, and by the time I left the meeting, I had an envelope full of cash in my hand.
Wonderful.
But this is the thing about a trainer and a client. Their relationship, it's such a different relationship. It really is.
Yeah. So I just got a few little things written down here that I had added on. First of all, you'll find that like most people, most personal trainers will be honest with you. They'll tell you as it is. They have a different perspective. They have a different vision. They see things that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
They keep you focused. They'll stretch you. They'll push you. And they'll know how far to push you as well.
Oh, yes.
So they'll help you fulfill your potential more rapidly than if you're doing it on your own. In fact, sometimes much more. And it's another voice. It's another, you can't keep listening to that voice in your head, because a lot of the times it's negative and it puts you down. And it does. I don't care what anyone says. If you speak to people, it's the worst. You're your own worst critic. And you need another critic if it's needed, but you don't need it all the time. You need that encouragement, and support. So that's unless have you got anything else you want to say about how wonderful a personal trainer you are? Do you want to give people how do people get in touch with you?
Easy. Yeah, on the Health Angle. Otherwise, they can just reach out to me on the same name on my screen. They can just connect with me on Facebook on this name, Warren Connolly.
Yeah, this is Health Angle's part of healthierlife.tv. So if you want, you send a message to here and say you want it for Warren, and I'll pass it on to him. And
thank you, Paul.
We'll go from there. So I've enjoyed this. It's been great. And for everyone else on here, if you found this useful, please share it with someone who it might be good for. Like the page, like this video if you think it's great. Let us know if you don't think it's great. I can take criticism just as well. Comment and do whatever. So
as long as the criticism is constructive.
Absolutely, of course, yes.
That's okay. And also to add to that, if you've been thinking about taking on a personal trainer, and it's been something that's been on your mind perhaps in the past, or maybe of a personal trainer that you're looking at getting into a relationship with, but you're not 100% sure what type of trainer you want to be looking for, then by all means approach me and ask me. I'm not gonna try and steal you away from somebody else, but I will be happy to at least share with you, some give you some feedback and so forth, and some ideas as to the type of trainer that you as a person, as an individual, could be looking for. Because there are many trainers out there, especially now, as a result of COVID-19. There's many trainers out there that are looking for business right now, and they need business. A lot of trainers, they've lost a lot of income. I met a group of trainers. I know it's a bit far removed, but in Qatar recently, I did a training workshop for a group of trainers, and most of them don't have any business at the moment. Yeah. Most of them don't have any business at all. So think about it. If that's what you want to invest in, then definitely take on a trainer. It's worth the investment.
I think from my perspective, I would say the only thing you really need to have available, so that you could tell Warren, would be what your goal is. Why you want a personal trainer, because that's the starting point of everything. You know, it
So
is
why?
because if I say to you, look, I want you to train me to run a marathon, you might say, well, actually, I may not be able to do that. Well, you may, but if you come with it, you say that straight away, then you'll know whether you can or whether you can't.
And also, I'll be able to give you what questions to ask a trainer to figure out whether they're the right trainer for you or not.
Yeah.
So if anybody does want to know and they want to reach out, you know, I'll give you some questions that you can ask a trainer.
Great. Well
All
done.
right.
All right, Warren. Well, we're gonna cut
Thank
this
you,
now,
everybody.
and it's been great. And thank you very much. If you want to hang on just until I cut this broadcast off, have a great day, everyone.
Have a beautiful evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Have an outstanding remainder of your week.
We'll speak to you soon.
Speak to you next week.